Greetings, brothers and sisters. My name is Ernest Durham, and I'm the president and the CEO of the Durham Corporation. We are a 39-year-old hair care products company. We are a black hair care products company, and we inspire black people to keep our dollars circulating in our communities. And we promote the importance of being intentional with our spending, brothers and sisters. In other words, you have to intend where your dollars are going to be spent. Now, I want to read some important information that I researched that will give you some very concise knowledge of where black people stand in the economic scheme of things and the opportunities that we have a chance to take advantage of. Now, everybody's talking about the coronavirus and all of that. I mean, it's dominating the news. But they're saying that to prevent the spread of the so-called coronavirus, many Americans have been laid off their jobs or just let go. And the unemployment rate in the United States is predicted to go up to 30% in the second quarter of this year because of the shutdowns to prevent social contact, brothers and sisters. And it's uncertain if many of these workers will be called back to work, and if so, when. The J.P. Morgan banks expects America's GDP to shrink at an annualized rate of 14% in the April and June periods of this year, while Bank of America and the Oxford Economics see a 12% drop, and the Goldman Sachs Group sees a 24% drop. And experts are predicting that the United States will lose $2.5 trillion in income during this quarter, brothers and sisters. So our government has restarted what's called the financial crisis programs to provide financial aid to Americans to help offset their lost income. The government's goal is to try to keep everything under control by assisting everyone's household and businesses, brothers and sisters, with government support financially. See, but even at that, we still have our lawmakers playing politics. And you know they always do that. They've got to play politics with other people's money. And they're squabbling as usual, brothers and sisters, and not by being able to agree on something as serious as financial aid for the American citizens during this crisis. See, but what we have to understand is that during these uncertain times is the perfect time for us to take advantage of a very unique opportunity, brothers and sisters. And this opportunity has been given to us, and it gives you the opportunity to become the lifeline of your family and friends, is what I'm saying, because as history reveals, in every recession or depression, many people become poor, brothers and sisters, but many people also become rich. So keep that in mind. There's an opportunity in every so-called negative situation. So let's show them, brothers and sisters, how to create their own employment and prosperity by allowing the Durham Corporation to set them up in their own small startup businesses as distributors of our hair care products, where all you have to do is buy one bottle and sell 2 bottles twice a month. That's all I need you to do when you work for me. Work 2 days out of the month, brothers and sisters. I don't need you to work any more than that. So work 2 days a week. Sell your products twice a month to your same 2 customers over and over, brothers and sisters, to receive $1,500 in sales commissions every month. Give yourself about 30 to 60 days before you receive your first check, and after that you receive it every month, because by then you'll already have your 2 customers lined up whom you will be selling to over and over. So give it that much time, but after the 30 to 60 days, and that really depends on how fast everybody can sell just 2 bottles of product. So let's keep that in mind. It shouldn't take a long time to sell 2 bottles of product. Many of us should be able to get on the phone and present this employment opportunity to friends and relatives and sell your 2 bottles right away the same day. So, but this is for slow-moving people in your family that I encourage you not to bring into this opportunity. because that'll prevent you from receiving your money as soon as you could. So keep that in mind also. So I'm also inspired by Black Wall Street, brothers and sisters, and you all have heard me talk about Black Wall Street of the 1920s that taught us not only unity and working together, brothers and sisters, but that unity allows us to survive as a people and not just exist as a people like many of us have been forced to do in the past, brothers and sisters. Many of us have been forced to just exist. In the richest country in the world, we are just existing here, some of us anyway. Now, my research has also revealed that we, as black people in America, generate over $1.2 trillion in spending power. And that makes us the 12th largest economy in the entire world, brothers and sisters. And many of us didn't know that. We didn't know the spending power that we have. So God is definitely good, is what I'm saying, brothers and sisters, to make us the 12th largest economy in the world. Now, my research has also shown me that Hispanics circulate their money on an average of 6 to 8 times before it leaves their community. Whites circulate their money 8 to 12 times. Asians and Arabs circulate their money 13 to 14 times. And the lifespan of the Jewish dollar circulates 18 times, brothers and sisters. But then on the other hand, the lifespan of the black dollar is about 6 hours. Think about that, 6 hours. So with $1.2 trillion in spending power, and we're the 12th largest economy in the entire world, why is the average black person in America still poor? This is what we have to ask ourselves, because it doesn't add up until you look at the fact that the lifespan of the black dollar is only 6 hours before it leaves our community. Well, then that's your answer. We've got to learn to buy from and sell to each other like other races of people do, if we're going to move forward and take our rightful place. Now, if I'm able to help you understand the importance of buying from and selling to each other, brothers and sisters, that's when our dollar will continue to circulate in our communities at least 8 to 12 times, which will in turn strengthen our position in America. And that's all we want to do, is strengthen our position here in America as far as racism and discrimination and police brutality is concerned, brothers and sisters, because it's been proven on a daily basis that no one really cares about poor people. And as long as we're poor, we are going to continue to have those problems. And not even poor white people, brothers and sisters. Nobody cares about poor people, not even poor white people. That's why they're left homeless and they live on the streets. And these are poor white people. So nobody cares about poor people. So we won't begin to point the finger and give excuses, because we as black Americans, brothers and sisters, with $1.2 trillion worth of spending power, are the only black people in the world that has the economic strength to change our conditions. The black people in Africa, the black people in the Caribbean and Australia, nowhere else has the economic strength to change their condition. And we can all start by allowing the Durham Corporation to set you up in your own small startup business, brothers and sisters. And you can work this business from home, is what I'm saying. Just 2 days a month, buying from and selling to each other. And this is usually going to be friends and relatives who need employment. And everyone will receive $1,500 in sales commissions. And this is monthly sales commission checks, brothers and sisters. Now, the most important thing about becoming financially free through the Durham Corporation is finding just 2 good, reliable customers to sell your product to. They have to be reliable. In other words, that means they have to sell 2 bottles to 2 other reliable people also. That's what we're looking for at this point, reliable people. See, because once you start receiving $1,500 sales commission checks and start showing people who are unemployed and who are living in poverty, well, it's not a lot of work anyway, so they'll jump at the opportunity to do it. So at this juncture, you want only reliable people, because my aim is to get as many checks in you all's hands as possible so the rest of the world, the black community, can come in to what we're doing. I can employ all of them, brothers and sisters. All they're doing is selling 2 bottles of product to friends and relatives. Okay, so the product is $30 a bottle. It's a large 16-ounce bottle. It'll last 2 or 3 months. And there is an $11 shipping charge for each shipment. Now, if I ship you 2 bottles to distribute between your 2 customers after you collect their money, then it's $11 to ship it. If you have customers, if you have the product going to different addresses, then for each address there is an $11 shipping charge. So if I ship if I ship 2 bottles, it's $11 to ship the 2 bottles. And if I ship 2 bottles, 1 to 2 different addresses, it's $11 for each address. So let's keep that in mind. Okay. And like I said, you're going to sell to your same 2 customers over and over and over, twice a month. You don't have to go out and get hundreds of people or dozens of people even to receive the $1,500, because of the system that I have set up at Durham Corporation, where we circulate money. We circulate the price of the hair care products, and you receive your sales commission of the $1,500, and that's the money that you spend. But we have to continue circulating the price of the product, which, like I said, is $30 per bottle plus $11 to ship. Now, if I'm shipping both bottles to one distributor, then it's $5.50 added on to your $30, because $5.50 times 2 equals the $11 that it takes to ship the product. Okay, so what I want you all to understand, brothers and sisters, is that you'll receive 2 $15 sales commissions if you want to be self-motivated enough to go out and sell to 2 extra people. Then you'll receive 2 sales commissions of $1,500 each. So for every 2 people you bring into this system and let them work their way through this matrix, if you will, that equals another $1,500 in your name. So let's keep that in mind also, brothers and sisters. So what I'm saying is that you can earn as much money or as much income as you need. We will not stop you from earning income. If you're self-motivated and energetic enough to go out and sell more and more product, then you deserve to get more and more money. So we won't prevent you from doing that, brothers and sisters. So understand that with this employment opportunity, unemployment will be a thing of the past also. Think about what I'm saying now. Unemployment will be a thing of the past, because $1,500 is a nice commission. $3,000 is even better. But everybody can do it, and they can do it from their telephone, working from home, calling people that you know. And it's got to be people that trust you, because you are going to collect their money first. So you're not out of any money. You're going to collect their money for their product, and I will ship the product to you, and you will give them their product. So I can employ everybody. We can make unemployment a thing of the past. We have to work together, though. It's all about unity, brothers and sisters. Okay, so it's about you, your friends and your relatives. These are the people that you have to reach out to, because like I said, they know you and they trust you. And these are the people that you want to see prosper. Durham Corporation, once again, can hire everybody in America because it's not a lot that you have to do. You're just selling 2 bottles of product over and over. Now what I'm going to do, brothers and sisters, is show you how black Americans spend their money and where we rank in the world as far as spending power and economic wealth is concerned. Now, black Americans, and you all have probably heard me say this before, black Americans spend over $500 billion annually for hair care products, brothers and sisters, nearly 9 times more than non-blacks, because we have the type of hair that we're always trying to change and do things to. So we spend nearly 9 times more than non-blacks on hair care products. And the hair weave industry generates another $9 billion annually, brothers and sisters. And every year, black Americans spend about $2 billion on Air Jordans, $4 billion on alcohol, beer, and cigarettes, $600 million on fast food, and over $1 billion on Timberlands, brothers and sisters. We buy 43% of the cell phones in America, 23% of the televisions, 21% of the radios, 18% of the internet, and we buy more designer purses and clothes than any other race. And even though we're only about 14% of America's population, brothers and sisters, we make up 63% of the crime rate in America. And in some categories, we buy 50% of goods sold. But it depends on the category. Now, like I said, we have $1.2 trillion in spending power among ourselves. So it's not that we don't have money, brothers and sisters. We give it to other people and we make them rich, while many of us have been living in poverty, lack, and want. But we can change all of that just by that magic word, unity, working together in unity. Now, black people in America has the 12th largest economy in the world, and the other 11 countries that have more spending power than us are Russia with $1.578 trillion, and we're at 1.2. So Russia doesn't have that much more spending power than we have. We're at 1.2, and the whole country of Russia is just at 1.578. Even Canada, it has 1.8 trillion. And again, we're at 1.2, and the whole country of Canada is just at 1.8. And then you look at Mexico. It has $1.15 trillion in spending power. That's not too much more than us. Black Americans, not black people all over the world, just black Americans. $1.2 trillion in spending power is what we have. Now, Brazil has 2.14 trillion. Italy has 2.18 trillion. India has 2.85 trillion. France has 2.93 trillion. The United Kingdom, which makes up or consists of England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, they only have 2.94 trillion among themselves. Now, England may have more spending power than black Americans, but Ireland, Scotland, and Wales surely don't. They have to combine their money to come anywhere near us. Now, Germany has 4.2 trillion, Japan has 5.1 trillion, China has 14 trillion, and the United States has 20.4 trillion, brothers and sisters. But when you subtract the 1.2 trillion that black Americans alone generate, that leaves the rest of America with 19.2 trillion. So once again, with $1.2 trillion worth of spending power, brothers and sisters, among black people in America, we have more spending power than the 9 richest African countries in the world. The 9 richest African countries, which are Ghana, which has $51.62 billion, not trillion now, this is $1 billion. We're in the trillions. We have more spending power than the whole country of Ghana. Tanzania has 56.66 billion. I'm just only talking about billions now because no African country has reached the trillions. Only black people in America has reached the trillions. Ethiopia has 85.66 billion. Kenya has 88.27 billion. Angola has 119.43 billion. And Algeria has 197 billion. Morocco has 121 billion. Egypt has 235.4 billion. South Africa has 370.89 billion. And Nigeria, which is the largest of all the African countries, brothers and sisters, has $375.8 billion in spending power. Now, black Americans have more spending power than the 9 richest Arab countries, and these are countries that produce oil, brothers and sisters, but they don't come near us. We still spend more money or have more spending power collectively than these Arab countries that produce oil. So you look at Saudi Arabia, well, they only have 683.8 billion, not trillion now, billion dollars in spending power. The United Arab Emirates has 382.6 billion. Qatar has 167.6 billion. Pakistan has 305 billion. Iran has 439.5 billion. Iraq has 197.7 billion. Syria has 40.41 billion. Lebanon has 51.84 billion, and Israel has 350.9 billion. So, nobody comes close to us, brothers and sisters. Black Americans are the richest black race of people in the world. And there's no reason that we should be living in poverty. But then that's where unity and directing your spending power comes from. So now that we know how much money we're worth as opposed to all the other countries in the world, brothers and sisters, what are we going to do with this knowledge? Are we going to use it to control our own destiny, brothers and sisters, or continue to live in poverty and keep complaining about what's happening to us, what somebody else has been doing to us? It's time for us to wake up and start controlling our spending power by buying from and selling to each other, brothers and sisters, and putting our money and votes behind the candidates who will speak up for us in Washington and give us the things that we deserve in this country. Now, in order to create our own prosperous economy, brothers and sisters, we'll need a steady stream of income to generate financial security. And this is where the Durham Corporation comes in. Because Durham Corporation, with you selling our hair care products, we can provide that steady stream of income for you and everyone else who gets involved with us. Black America is the richest black nation on earth, brothers and sisters, but because of brainwashing and self-hate, we haven't been able to get ourselves out of the deplorable living conditions that many of our people have been forced to live in. And when you look at sports, brothers and sisters, we've all learned to play as a team. But as a race of people, we haven't learned to play as a team. This is something we still have to learn. And that's why these broadcasts are so important. To hammer it home, brothers and sisters, and let you know how much power you have when you start playing as a team or working in unity with each other. We all know what's being done to us, brothers and sisters, so now it's time to start working as a team and do something about it. Otherwise, these things will continue to happen. So consequently, brothers and sisters, I ask you to join me in my efforts to recreate the prosperous economy that we once had as a race of proud black people. And that's accomplished by us buying from and selling to each other. And I can't stress that enough, because that's what other races of people do. They buy from and sell to each other. And many of them sell to us. That's where a lot of their wealth comes from, selling to us. We've got to learn to sell to each other. And I know that word selling has been poison to a lot of our people, but we got to get out of that, because the wealth is in selling, brothers and sisters. Buying means that you're a consumer. That means that you're taking money away, but you're not replacing it by selling. And we've got to learn to sell if we're going to survive and take our rightful place in the economic scheme of things. This is the only way for us to survive in the future, brothers and sisters, and this is the only way to prepare a future for your children. Now, some other important information is that 1 out of every 20 Asians or Arabs has a business, brothers and sisters. And you see that. You see them in our community, selling to us. Selling to us. They must be doing it for a reason. They must have stores in our communities for a reason, brothers and sisters. Those stores in our neighborhoods is for one purpose, to sell to us, because they know we are buyers. We're consumers. But we've got to take that same rule of thumb, brothers and sisters, that same economic model, and use it for our benefit. We've got to sell to each other. We've got to buy from your distributor that I set you up with. When you fill out your employment application, you will have a distributor. You'll buy one bottle from that distributor twice a month, and you will sell 2 bottles to your same 2 people twice a month, over and over and over. And that's the model. Without opening up a store and being bothered with all that, unless you just want to. But the model, for me, this company, Durham Corporation, to make you financially secure. You buy 1 bottle and you sell 2 bottles to the same 2 people, friends and relatives, over and over and over. Now, like I said, 1 out of every 20 Asians and Arabs has a business, and most of them are in your neighborhood. 1 out of every 35 whites has a business, and they keep those mostly in their neighborhoods because they know the art of buying from and selling to each other. 1 out of every 53 Hispanics has a business, and most of them in their neighborhoods because they know the power of buying from and selling to each other. And only 1 out of every 105 blacks has a business, brothers and sisters. And business is the foundation of any race's wealth. And this is why the Durham Corporation is setting you up in your own small business as distributors of our hair care products. You'll be working for the Durham Corporation, brothers and sisters, so as long as you do your work, you'll continue to be paid just like on any other job. And your work, like I said, and I have to keep stressing this, you buy 1 bottle and you sell 2 bottles over and over and over. That's your work. That's your job. I don't need you to do any more than that. And you can still be financially secure. You don't need to do anything else. If you want more money, go out and find 2 more customers. For the amount of money that you want, bring 2 more customers in to buy my product. And each 2 customers that you bring in represents another $1,500 sales commission when you run that name or those customers through this matrix that I have set up here, if that's what you want to call it. This employment opportunity. When we run them through there, then you have another $1,500 check. Just make sure you keep doing the same thing. No matter how many you bring in to sell your product to, make sure you sell to them. I don't care if it's 100 of them. Sell to them twice a month. Make as much money as you need. I don't care if you become a millionaire. Just bring customers to the table, brothers and sisters. Then we all make money. We all prosper. Now, like I've said before, it's about helping each other, brothers and sisters. And I have a dream, and our company will take a portion of our profits to be used to help Save Our Sons, and this is my baby, Save Our Sons, SOS. It's a Save Our Sons initiative that I came up with that will take our youth who are at risk from gangs, drugs, and crime in these urban cities and put them in trade schools. Put them in dormitories outside of the city, brothers and sisters. Get them away from all the temptation and things that have them at risk and teach them trades. We will pay the instructors to teach them carpentry, plumbing, teach them to be electricians and computer programmers or whatever they want to be, whatever their trade is, whatever it is they want to do. We'll have the instructors there. So we'll pay the tuition. We'll set them up in dormitories. We've got to get these children out of these urban cities. Police brutality, racism, discrimination. It's up to us to reach back for these kids, brothers and sisters. But it all starts with us working together in unity. We don't have to watch what's going on with our children. We don't have to sit back and watch that helplessly. We have the economic strength to make changes, brothers and sisters, and it starts right here. And I'm not saying I'm the only one, out here that's got a solution, but this is a very simple solution. So it's about at-risk children who are at risk from drugs, gangs, and crime. And you all can all relate to that, I'm sure. Because that thing has touched everybody, every black family in America. You've got somebody in your family who's been associated with drugs or gangs, police brutality, or some other kind of crime. That goes on out here. Because remember, like I said, nobody cares about poor people, brothers and sisters. So it's up to you not to be poor. Take this opportunity that I'm giving you not only to help yourself financially, but to help the race financially. Now, our live broadcast, brothers and sisters, is every Tuesday. And I want to admonish you all when you call in and you want your applications for the employment. Always, before you fill out your application, always go back to the person who referred you to this call so you can find out where you fit in. Let the person who's your sponsor get involved in you getting employed so that we can see where you'll fit in the database. Don't just randomly fill out an application and send it in here because I don't know who to place you under. Your sponsor's name should go on that application also. And now I know that your sponsor has sold his or her 2 bottles of product. And they'll have to do you the same way. They'll have to give you the information when you decide to come in. Okay, so this live broadcast every Tuesday at the same time allows you to ask your questions and request your employment forms in more detail. And you email us at WEPA, that's WEPA, We're Empowered to Prosper in America. WEPA 4U2, that's the number 4, the